Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push in this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, dealing with, I'm not sure how I'll title it, Jacob, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we always have to tell you that, you so-called, that's why we tell you that, is because this is not who you really are, all right? You are, according to the scriptures, the children of the Most High, the children of Israel, all right? But what's going on is that you're suffering from a stolen identity or identity crisis, all right? You think that you have, speaking for you so-called, or really all the tribes, all right, you so-called Negroes, this is black history, this is black culture. You got things go, you guys are culture vultures, you're still not culture, and, Hispanic culture and stuff like that, and Native American culture, this is our heritage. No, you claiming some bullshit that was given unto you by the so-called white man, all right? Soul food, black people food, ain't no such, well, I ain't gonna say there ain't no such thing, but what you know of today is so-called black people food or soul food. That's not our food, bro. We wasn't fucking eating chitlins and shit. In fact, it was an abomination for us to even touch swine. All right, so we damn sure wasn't eating no goddamn pig intestines, man. This is what Esau gave us on the plantations, the scraps. All right, so eating collard greens and we might have ate some collard greens, but you know what I'm saying, like chitlins and shit like that, bro. We wasn't doing no shit like that. Frying some chicken and shit like that. We wasn't doing that, man. All this was given unto us from Esau, man. Sagging the pants. You know what I'm saying? I would say gangbanging, but I mean, we always had, tribal warfare. There was always war and stuff like that. But a lot of the things that you see Jake doing nowadays, you know what I'm saying? They think, oh, that's just black people culture. Black people always do this. All right. That's not really our culture. We weren't like that, man. All right. So we suffer from an identity crisis like dreads. Dreads isn't one of our customs, Jake is a very clean people, man. That's one thing about Jake. Jake is very fucking clean, man. All right, now you might see Jake where his hygiene might be a little off here or there from certain conditions, because like, hey, I know like at my job, I be hot and sweaty all goddamn day, you know what I'm saying, from being outside in the fucking elements. And when I come back into the goddamn office, I already just be thinking like, you might not want to get too close to me. I already know I've been sweating all fucking day or whatever, whatnot. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about just Jake in general, Jake, just look at Jake, not even talking about his regular body, but look at how Jake carry himself, man. Jake be walking around with a goddamn rag in his pocket to keep wiping his shoes off and shit. I remember I was like that in high school, man. I used to walk around goddamn with a rag in my pocket wiping off my goddamn shoes and shit. And when it would rain out here, goddamn gotta have plastic bags and shit over my shoes. Like, hell no, we ain't getting these shits dirty. Nah. Growing up, the first thing you do when you come inside the house, the first thing you fucking do when you come in the house is what? Take off your school clothes, man. You ain't going outside and getting that shit dirty. You know what I'm saying? This is how Jake is, man. Jake will sit there and wash his car, 8 days after the goddamn 7-day week, man. Jake out there washing the goddamn car, man. You know what I'm saying? You go inside a house with I would say, for lack of a better terms, with a good woman in that house, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not she got a man in the house or not. But if you got like a decent woman in the house, more than likely you'll find this as being one of the, like a woman that's like a little older than me. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother's age and my grandmother's age. 9 times out of 10, man, they house smell like what? Fabuloso. You know what I'm saying? Some goddamn, lavender shit. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they always doing laundry. What that shit called? They be cleaning the kitchen, the pond saw and shit like that. They always cleaning their goddamn house, man. You know what I'm saying? My aunt, I used to be babysitted by, we was all like that, man. But growing up, my aunt's house, every damn day, man, we used to be over there every day, right? Being babysitted. But every day we had to get up and do our chores. Every day we had to go and vacuum out the goddamn house, right? And you know how Jake sometimes be having them 2 different living rooms in the house. And one living room, you can't even sit on none of the goddamn furniture because that's the super clean living room, right? You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the living room where nobody sit. Everything's still on the plastic. Like, why we got to keep vacuuming out this room? Don't nobody even walk in this room. Vacuum it out anyway. And put the little powdery shit on the floor because I want it to smell good up in here. You know what I'm saying? This is how, Jake is, We're very clean people on the earth, man. These are, we suffer from an identity crisis, man. We picking up the ways of these heathen and thinking this is how we supposed to be. Yeah, we got dreads because that's black people thing. Nah, man, we like fresh, clean shit all the time, bro. We, there were men in the Bible who had braids, like Samson, right? But nevertheless, you know, for us, we like, again, fresh shit. We like to get our shit rebraided all the damn time. You know, if you go back to my, you know, some of my first videos, right, that I did on this here page, or see any, I don't know if you can find any of the old camp videos, because some of them pages then got deleted a couple times over, you know, Esau. But if you go back to like a lot of my earlier videos, you know, at the very beginning of the page, you'll see that I had braids, right? But nevertheless, you know, I cut them off now. But nevertheless, you know, we always get our shit redone all the time. We always gotta have a fresh do, you know. You be walking around too long, and then you hear other people, bro, you need to get that shit rebraided, bro. That shit starting to, you know what I'm saying? You need to get that shit rebraided. We wouldn't really let our hair go to the point where it would just naturally lock up from not being washed, not being taken care of, man. All right, our so-called women supply a whole fucking industry of hair products, man, because we be wanting to look the freshest or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, hey, man, so, hey, some of these Edomites be gonna go buy a goddamn horse shampoo for the horse's mane for their damn hair. You wouldn't find Jake, man. Jake wouldn't put no shit like that in their goddamn hair. Jake be like, nah, nigga, we got this here shit, this special shit here. We gonna be good, man. All right, so, you know, but Jake is suffering from an identity crisis. So now you got Jake rolling around wearing blonde hair. I want blonde hair and blue contacts and shit. Nigga, you ain't, nah, nigga, why you trying to look like these Edomites with recessive ass genes and shit? You the gods of the earth, man. You ain't supposed to be having no weak ass shit like that, man. That's like you being a billionaire, right? And you want to trade your bank account with the homeless dude. You want to take his little hat with, you know, he got maybe $13 in his little collection hat or whatever. You got like $13 billion. You want to trade your bank account for his little hat? That's basically what what you showing forth when you cover up your hair, your natural hair with what, blonde weaves. You cover up your natural melanated eyes with what, blue contacts and shit like that, man. All right, bleaching your skin, lightening it up. All right, trying to take away the melanin from your skin, which is protecting you from, and also converting certain things, you know, from the sun that's giving you you know, like with photosynthesis, you know, basically like how the plants do the same shit. You know, there's only two colors that can, I believe it's only two colors that can wind up extracting, you know, energy and stuff like that from the sun. It's like the green and black, basically, you know, like they say black absorbs light and things like that, you know. But nevertheless, not saying that we're the color black, but nevertheless, our skin, our melanin in our skin, also the melanin in your eyes. They say, I think if you walk outside in like sunlight, you know, while it's light outside, you know, if you open up your eyes, I think for like a split second or a second or so, your body wind up getting charged back up on, I forgot what it was, vitamin C or something like that. You know, one of these vitamins, your body get charged up on it just, you know, instantly, you know, because why? The sun rays are going through your eyes or whatever, whatnot, and the melanin is able to extract the things that you wind up needing. The same way with your skin. All right, we be out in the sun or whatever, whatnot. You know, you see Esau in the sun, they be putting on sunscreen, sunblock, and they be peeling in skin cancer. Jake be out in the sun or whatever, whatnot. They take their shirts off or whatever, whatnot, be out there working in the sun. Hey, man, we good, man. They say black don't crack, man. All right, but these are what? You know, signs of, you know, you seeing us losing our identity. We going through an identity crisis, you know. I know that I was feeling left out. I moved down to Florida. You know, we got access to the beach. I was feeling left out going around all these Edomites. They putting on sunscreen and sunblock. Oh, well, I can't put it on. You don't need none. Well, what you mean I don't need none? I want to be like y'all. Well, no, nigga, you naturally got it inside of you. We lacking this, so this is why we need to go get some, how they call it, artificial shit, you know? But we're going to start here in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are on the face of the earth. So when you talk about that, you know, you have our people that's like want to be super, how do I say, inclusive with everybody else, man. All right, they want to say, oh, if they can't get it, then I don't want it either. You know, you trying to tell them about this here truth. Oh, the Edomites ain't gonna make it in the kingdom of heaven. Well, if they can't go, I don't want to go. I don't want to serve no God like that. You know, you suffer from an identity crisis. They reigning over top of you right now. All right, and they don't give a fuck about you. You want to be equal with them. That's why you're screaming Black Lives Matter too. Black Lives Matter too. They don't give a fuck about you. But then when you get into your position, it's your turn to ride. You want to share it with they ass. You know, only our people suffering from this. We supposed to be above all the people that's on the face of the earth. Not equal to none of these people, not beneath none of these people, but only our people from suffering from an identity crisis want to be on the same playing field with the people that was created to be our servants. All right. Verse, that was it. I want to grab it. Let me continue on. So the scriptures say we were supposed to be a special people above all the people that are on the face of the earth, right? This is 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm going to read verse 3. It says, Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, All right, what day? The day of the Lord. All right, the end time, the days that that we living in now, and hastening for salvation to come. All right, but these days wouldn't come unless what? It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Now, when it's talking about this falling away, what is it talking about? All right. We're going to go to the book of Psalms 83. All right. So that falling away is spoken about. Let's read Psalms 83 and 1. A song or a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Most High. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and have consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. So they're taking this crafty counsel. All right. They're plotting, planning, plotting, and strategizing. Ultimately, this is what the Illuminati, these real top elites, all right, the Rothschilds or whatever, whatnot. This is what their ultimate plan is, man. All right. To ultimately get rid of and have a mass extinction of the Israelites so they can rule and reign forever. All right. So it says, verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. All right. So going back to that falling away. All right. They said that it says, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. Well, today you have a so-called state. All right. Called the state of Israel. All right. You have people over there called Israelis. All right. Now, reading here in the Bible, verse 4. All right, it says that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. That name Israel is still written there. So we know what the name Israel still is. That name didn't go anywhere. All right, but what is it talking about? It's talking about that falling away first. All right, the Israelites who wound up falling away from who they were, their heritage, the knowledge of who they were. All right, so dealing with this, you have to understand that there was that falling away. We once knew we were Israelites. When you go back to all our captivities, we knew we were Israelites, even all the way up into when Yahushua was on the scene, Paul was like, even I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, and so on and so forth. But before you woke up to the truth over here, you didn't know which tribe you was from. You didn't even know you was an Israelite, man. You thought that this was a so-called white man's book, man. We was lost because why? We was suffering from an identity crisis, man. All right, we over here going to church thinking, reading this here book, and we don't even recognize our own self in there, all right? And not only that, we over here giving credit and credence to our enemies, the oppressors, basically the devil, saying that this is his book. This book was written to uplift him when it's really written to put him down, because why? We suffer from an identity crisis, man. All right. This is like you giving it a description or a depiction. All right. To, they ask you, hey, there's you go report some shit, right? Hey, there's a car out here parked in front of this fire hydrant, right? Well, what kind of car is it? Well, it's a red Chevy Camaro, right? And it's parked out here beside this, and it's got some blue tints on it with some golden rims on it, right? You over here giving this here description and calling and telling the police about the shit, right? But come to find out, when they go and run the place and all this and that, they find out, motherfucker, this is your car. You didn't realize that you over here giving a depiction. You don't remember you parked in front of the fucking fire hydrant? You don't remember that your keys operate this here car? You don't remember this is your car? Look, all your shit is inside the car, bro. But you can't recognize that because why? You suffer from an identity crisis. This is like a person who has like a short-term memory loss. They going out, or dementia or whatever, whatnot. They go out and then they lose their car in the parking lot. They get lost inside their damn house. They forget where they at. They forget, they don't know what the hell's going on because why? They have an identity crisis. I can't identify what my car looked like, even though I just rode to this bitch in my car. I forgot what my goddamn car looked like. Now I'm over here calling the police on this dude who parked in front of the fire hydrant, but because I forgot what my car looked like, I can't identify it. I'm over here telling on my own goddamn self. But this is what has happened unto our people, man. We suffer from this here identity crisis, man. And then on the flip side, we want to be like all these other nations, man. All right? We want to be everything else but Israelites. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37. Well, shit. Let me read verse 36. And Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. So look, you about to start serving these other gods which you didn't know, and now you're having this identity crisis. So now you're serving the so-called white man, all right, as Jesus, all right, and you serving these other religions like the Nation of Islam, all these different things, not realizing like, yo, bro, these motherfuckers don't like you. They don't want you a part of their shit. And this ain't even talking about you got your own shit, but you our people fight tooth and nail. I don't want to be no Israelite. I just want to go to church and see my white Jesus. I'm like, yo, but they talking about them and they people. All right. Or you'll want to convert. Well, that's the white man's book or whatever, whatnot. We need to go get our own religion. Then you go pick up the Arabs' religion. You see them saying like, oh, this is the Nation of Islam. This is the black man's religion. Like, yeah, but y'all stole that from the Arabs, in which they got that from us when we created it in the first place. But it says, verse 37, it says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead thee. So what? That's where we at now, man. Look at these niggas, man. These niggas is lost. That's why they call us the lost sheep of Israel, man. They lost. Where is their sense at? Why are they doing this? I can't understand them. Because why? We suffer from an identity crisis. If we didn't, we wouldn't be doing the dumb shit that we doing, man. Our women wouldn't be out here twerking with big ass butterflies tattooed on their ass crack if they knew who the fuck that they were, man. They knew they was above all the bullshit that they out here doing. We wouldn't be doing these things, but because we don't know who we are, where we come from, who our power is, this is why we become like the heathens round about us, man. We taking piece from here and piece from there. You know what I'm saying? We want to be everything else but Israelites. Matter of fact, speaking, I was gonna say about that, we want to be Kemet and shit, right? This Exodus. This is Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. All right. So look, our people like to always talk about the Kemet, from the land of Kemet. And really, Kemet goes back to him. All right. Like where you get the word chemistry from. All right. Him. All right. Or they say Kim nowadays, or Kemet. All right. That goes back to him or Ham. Basically, we would say in English, Ham, all right, the Hamites, right? So our people like to claim that we Egyptians. No, we was in captivity in Egypt, all right? But then this is something prominent that you see in their so-called the pyramids and all this vastness of their history, that we wound up building them over there. So you want to take this here identity as basically the people, the slave owners over there, man. That's like if America was to go on for the next 1,000 years or whatever, whatnot, and you see all the progress Jake made over here, but then you want to claim to be the founding fathers over here. But like, nah, this was the Edomites, bro. You was in captivity over here. You built the shit for them. Like, you wasn't them. You didn't come over from Europe and all this and that to conquer this here land. No, that wasn't you. You was in captivity. You came from over there, but you was on the slave ship as a slave, bro. But see, our people want to be like these Egyptians and all these other people. But the Most High said, look, man, let me read that again. It says, verse 7, Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, mainly you so-called Negroes, shall not a dog move his tongue. You ain't gonna speak against this, against man or beast, that they may know that Yahweh doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Now, why would they make this emphasis? Because first of all, they both dark-skinned people. They both so-called black people. But there's a huge difference in between the Egyptians and the Israelites, man. First of all, Hamites don't really grow no facial hair, man. You ain't never seen no African woman with a lot of hair. All right, they always got that little small buzz cut or whatever, whatnot, man. Their African men don't grow facial hair. All right, they pretty much soulless. They ain't got no salt, no flavor, no shit like that, man. You want to see the Egyptians, the original Egyptians? Look up the South Sudanese people, man. That's the original Egyptians, man. And they super tall as hell and skinny as fuck, bro. All right, but nevertheless, there's a difference between us and these other nations, man. But what, our people want to keep cleaving unto these Egyptian gods, the Babylonian gods, all these other little made-up gods or whatever, whatnot, because why? They suffer from an identity crisis. They don't know who they are. There was that falling away first. Because why? Those that hated the Most High and his people took that crafty counsel to cut them off, to take that name away from them so they wouldn't know who they were, man. To steal their heritage, man. All right, let me see if I can find another one real quick. I can think of two of them. Psalms 36:1. I think it's Psalms 36:1. No. Where is that at? This is Ezekiel 36:1. It says, shit, I gotta read down. Ezekiel 36:1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountain of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power, because the enemy, which is Esau, those that hated us, have said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are in our possessions. So they stealing all of our ancient high places, all our old relics and history and all of our culture and things like that, man. They stole all of this from all of us, man. All right. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that you might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and in infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh Yahweh power, to the mountains and to the hills and to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waters, to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with joy of their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out as prey. So they wound up, let me grab one more. It's going to further edify on that. I think that one's Psalm 79:1. Psalm 79:1, a psalm of Asaph. O Yahweh power, the heathen are coming to thy inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. So they came in and stole all our ancient high places, all our old relics, our history, all the things that we have, and then gave us some bullshit. They basically gave us their ways of being niggas, thugs, killers, gangsters, and shit like that. Hey, man, they're warlike people, man. They like to go around and blow up the whole goddamn planet Earth and steal all the damn nations and all the people thereof, man. Then they sit there and look at us, types of all this black on black crime. You know what I'm saying? Hey, our black on black crime only span as much as our goddamn bike can take us, our feet can take us, or $10 to $15 worth of gas can take us, because Jake ain't really got the means to really go wage no war further than this goddamn neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But Esau fly around the whole planet Earth, putting everybody in subjection. All right? Jake might steal some little small petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Jake might steal your lighter. Jake might break in your car, steal your radio. Some little petty shit, right? But Esau go steal a whole goddamn nation of people, their resources. All right? Oh, yeah, we stealing all of Venezuela oil and their resources. They ain't none of them gonna eat, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you broke into somebody's car. You caused some little window damage, stole their radio. Might have cost $300 worth of damage. You know, ain't nobody die or nothing. But Esau go over here and steal a nation's resources. Now, the whole nation is poor and corrupt. Now they all fighting over each other, killing each other, a.k.a. Venezuela. You see what I'm saying? You fucked everybody over, bro. All right? World War I, World War II, man. Talking about black on black crime. Like, dog, you got world wars, bro. You put the whole fucking world in subjection, bro. For real, for real. All right? Let me see if I want to grab... Where's that at? Nevertheless, I'm going to just go ahead and close out there. I was going to try to find this other passage real quick. Where is it at? Pretty much goes back to the same thing, but nevertheless, about how the heathen came in and stole our heritage, man. They wound up, this is Revelation 2:9. It says, I know thy work and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but the synagogue of Satan. Let me go to Revelation 3:9. It says, Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say that they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, to know that I have loved thee. All right, so these people are over here lying about their identity of who they are. And that's what we're suffering from, an identity theft and an identity crisis, because we don't know who we are. We don't know who our power is, man. We don't know, where is that? Isaiah... Nah. Let me see. Let me look this up real quick, and we're gonna close out. This is Isaiah 59:1. It says, Behold, Yahweh's hand is not shortened that he cannot save, neither is his ear heavy that he cannot hear. But your iniquities have separated between you and your power, and your sins have hid his face from you that he will not hear. All right. So look, going into an identity crisis. If we don't know who we are, we don't know our laws, statutes, commandments that we need to be following after to please the Most High. If we don't know his name and his son's name to call upon him for salvation, all right, how are we going to be pleasing in the sight of the Most High, man? All right, so what is going to lead to what? Death and destruction, man. All right, because we're not following after the law, statutes, commandments that was commanded of us, because we don't even know we had law, statutes, commandments, man. All right, I remember thinking, as a child growing up, finding out about different groups of people and different things, like, man, I wanted to be special like these people, man. You know, these people I got Muslim cousins, you know, that converted over to the Nation of Islam. And I remember growing up and having breakfast with them. We used to have two different breakfasts. You know, they had their breakfast, you know, like we could eat it, we could eat their breakfasts too, but we would have like sausage and bacon and shit with some grits and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then they weren't eating pork, so they would have, you know what I'm saying, some fish and some grits, you know. And I'm like, oh shit, man. They, you know, they're a little different from everybody else, so they kind of stand out. You know, the women was all they wore a hijab or whatever, whatnot. They wore dresses and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So when people looked at them like, oh, they're a little different, you know, you feel like you kind of a little different or up on a, not a pedestal, but you're above, you know, a little bit above these people because you got standards, all right? But nevertheless, we did have these things, but what? We over here trying to pretend and pick up everybody else's culture and their identities and things. You know, we like the biggest culture vultures, man. We stealing everybody else's identity because we just want to so-called fit in or whatever, whatnot. But we trying to fit in with the heathen that are at the bottom of the barrel when we supposed to be leading and being at the top of the whole pyramid, man. All right? You know what I'm saying? If we was to come back to our law, statutes, commandments, come back to our rightful identity, then what? We would be reigning over all these other heathen, man. All right? We would be reigning over top of all these other heathen. But what? We forgot who we were, man. We wound up going straight from the law, statutes, commandments, and the Most High brought all these curses upon us till we was destroyed. We don't know who the fuck we were. All right, hey, we can go into Ezekiel 37, the valley of the dry bones, man. They was very dry. They was dead, bro. They ain't know who the fuck they were, man. Why? Because they suffered from an identity crisis, man. They didn't understand, you know, they had law, statutes, commandments to keep. They didn't know about this almighty power that they had that would destroy their fucking ass if they didn't listen and hearken, all right? They forgot about all these things, man, because why? We go to church and read about the Exodus and how the Lord split the Red Sea with Moses and all these different things, man. All right. But then you think, oh, that was a beautiful story. But then somebody tried to tell you, you know, Moses was black, right? Moses wasn't black. Well, you know, Miriam was turned, you know, yeah, she was turned leprous as snow, white as snow. But that don't ring a bell to you. They wasn't black, though. Or, you know, the Lord had, you know, skin like unto the color of brass, right? Well, yeah, but it was just bound down to his feet. Nah, that's the, you know, your look at your feet. Your feet the same color as your arms same color as your back the same color as your face. You know, your whole body like the same damn color, you know? But because we suffer from an identity crisis, we can't identify with none of the people in the Bible, man. Even though this is our story talking about us in all of our ways, man. That's why the scriptures say our spirit bear witness with the spirit that we are the children of the Most High, because all the ways of the people in the Bible is all our ways, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, turning the water into wine, right? You know, I'm gonna close out this, but to turn the water into wine, Esau throwing a goddamn party, he gonna have enough motherfucking alcohol. Esau is like the inventor of oh, we got open bar, bro. We ain't running out, man. The bar ain't gonna run dry at all, bro. Hey, it's all you can drink, sink or swim. They come up with shit like that. Jake, on the other hand, they'll turn up and have a goddamn party, but what Jake always got to do? Jake always got to go on what they call a so-called beer run. We got to go re-up real quick because Jake was like, shit, we having such a good time. We didn't drink all this shit up. We got to go back out, go get some more shit, you know? That's really the turn down of Jake party, man. When they ran out of drinks and they can't go to the store and get no more drinks. You know, it's the sun coming up at 6:30 in the morning and ain't nobody selling them no more alcohol. They can't even go get it from the bootleg. Now the party finally over, you know? But just, you know, reading these different things in the scriptures, man, you know, once you wake up to, like, damn, how did I not know that, you know, all the metaphors and the analogies, you know, that they use, like the scriptures say, an ox knows his owner and the ass his master's crib, but Israel does not know. All right. You know, hey, who says the word crib? Hey, I'm about to go back to the crib, cuz that's Jake talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau's not that creative, but because why? We don't know who we are. We can't identify ourselves inside the scriptures. So therefore, we're going to always be out there and blind leading the blind, man. We out there lost, man. All right. You out there looking for your goddamn car, but you got short-term memory loss. You forgot what your car looked like. You forgot what color it was, where you parked it. If you even drove or if somebody dropped you off. So now you're just wandering around the parking lot indiscriminately putting keys in all kind of doors, trying to figure out why don't none of that shit work. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you're going to wind up tiring yourself out in the parking lot. Your ice cream be melted. You know what I'm saying? Your food is all spoiled and everything like that. Is nothing good going to come out of that. Because why? You forgot your identity. You forgot who you were, man. You forgot. Look, bro, I came into this car right here and I parked on this here aisle over here, bro. I got the keys right here, man. If you was to remember that, you can go get straight in the car with your groceries and get back home with it and enjoy your food, man. But because you forgot who you were, you suffer from an identity crisis. All right. You don't know who you are, who your power is. So you don't have anybody to call on. And this is why you're walking around being destroyed, man. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push in this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.